Hi guys, welcome back to my Flosstube channel and Happy New Year to you. That feels very weird to say because I'm actually pre-recording this and it's not quite the new year yet, but Happy New Year. It will be when I put this out. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. If you've never seen me before, my name's Laura Clark, also known as Butterfly Stitches 83, also known as Cotton and Clay UK over on my Instagram. And today is a little Flosstube extra where I want to show you my Stitchy plans for 2025. Now, full disclaimer, there are quite a lot of new starts here, and this is just my plan. This is my goal. Whether I get to all of these, I don't know. And if I do get to all of them, there's not going to be that many that are finished, but we're just going to give it a go anyway, okay? I had a big sort through of all of my stash recently. I've retired a few whips that just haven't been worked on for a really, really long time. I'm also going to do a separate whip braid video, so I will show you all the whips I'm planning on working on this year during that video. But today I'm just going to show you patterns that are going to be new starts, and I've kind of planned everything out throughout most of the year, so I know that seems a little bit type A, but as I say, it's flexible, not necessarily planning on sticking to it, but this is sort of just putting this out there into the universe to keep myself accountable, and also just to invite you guys, if there's any here that you plan on stitching at the roughly same time as me, or you want to stitch them and you want to get them, and let me know and we can start a stitch along, because stitch alongs keep us all accountable, and they're also just really great fun. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to crack on. I've already filled up my phone memory once today and had to delete a load of stuff. So we're just going to crack on. First and foremost, I'm just going to show you one that I plan on working on throughout the year, which is these 12 monthly minis by Primrose Cottage stitches. I bought this pattern, was it at market? Can't remember now, but I bought it at the beginning of 2024 and haven't stitched any yet, and I thought it'd be quite nice to wait until January and then try and do them one a month. They're only 39 by 39 stitches each. I've already got the fabric, which is 32 count light taupe. I'm going to use the called for fabric, and yeah, it seems quite doable. Floss wise, I'm going to stitch from stash. As you can see, they're not hugely big, and they're not anywhere near full coverage, so it really shouldn't be too difficult, she says, fingers crossed, to keep up with doing one a month. So if anyone else has got this booklet or wants to get it and wants to do like a year-long stitch along with me, that would be absolutely brilliant. So that one's going to be kind of throughout the year. Now let's talk about January. So there's quite a few new starts in January because, you know, new year, new start. And I know a lot of people are doing challenges where they're starting a certain number in the first week of the year or on New Year's Day. As I'm pre-recording this, New Year's Day has already happened, so some of these may already have stitches in, I hope, if I've been good. So the first one is the blue flower. Now, I definitely did buy this during National Needlework Market in 2024, but haven't put any stitches in it yet. It's a really big project. It's 165 stitches wide by 195 high, so it's a big one, and I'm under no illusions that it'll be finished this year, but I'd like to get a chunk of it done this year. I have ordered all of the, uses like 20 or something DMCs, and I've ordered loads of DMCs as part of my Christmas present, so I do already have all the DMC. I've already got my project bag, which is this beauty that my friend Lorna made me. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just the most perfect colour and theme for me. I've also got this two lovely bits of ring bling. I've got this lovely butterfly that I got from Charlie Feathers, and this other gorgeous butterfly with my birthstone and my initial on that I got from my good friend Shell at Cheesecake and Cross Stitch. And I've already got the fabric, which is this nice 32 count, I think this is, vintage Zweigart vintage grey. So that one is good to go, and as I say, if I stuck to schedule, by the time this video goes out I may have already put the first few stitches into it. And again, anyone who's stitching this also or wants to stitch it, let me know and we'll do it together. Also for January, as I say, there's not going to be this many every month because this video would be way too long. And also I don't have the stitch capacity. But January is January and it is the time of new starts. I also want to show you this gorgeous project bag. This is a Ness's Craft Room one. Look at the birdies. So gorgeous, and the inside is gorgeous. Sorry if I'm rushing through, but I just need to... I've got a lot of them. And as I said, I don't want to fill my camera up again. My phone up. It's this one. I Love Giraffes by Haystack Stitching. It's the only or the first pattern I've ever bought from them. I got it at Big Stitch. It comes with both colourways and both bits of writing. But it's not what they say now. Yeah, stand tall, be strong, and dare to be different. I'm doing this one, dare to be different, with the bright colours. And there's also a third phrase in the pattern as well, which I've now forgotten. But I'm doing this one. And I've treated myself to some Roxy floss. So I've kind of gone through the pattern. It's got a DMC. I've gone through the pattern and I've kind of tried to do my own little Roxy floss conversion, or not necessarily a conversion because I've not tried to stick exactly right to them, but you know, I've done my own thing. So I'm excited. It should be a really fun start. And again, planning on starting it either today when this goes out or maybe even yesterday. So this may well have some stitches in. I'm using 28 count vellum for that one. The fact that these are already kitted up means I'm good to go in January, which is a good start. Also in January, I'm doing this one as a stitch along, but feel free to join us. It's this one. It's the Heart in Hand, Big Hearted Tiny Town. Regular viewers will know that I've already finished two of these, the Honey of a Tiny Town and the Seaside Tiny Town, the second of which I did as a stitch along with some fabulous ladies. I'm doing this one in the stitch along with Shell of Cheesecake and Cross Stitch, Sarah of Stitchy Bug, and I think a few of the others from our little group might be joining us as well. And if you want to join us, let me know. We don't have a hashtag yet, but I will keep you posted if and when we do one. I've already got the fabric, which is this super light 28 count super light pink from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I've got the called for floss. Again, really treated myself this time to the fancy flosses, which are a combination of weeks and classic colourworks. So that one, we want to try and do it as a Halloween, as a Valentine's Day stitch. So we're starting it this month with the hope of either finishing it, seems a bit optimistic, but at least be stitching it over Valentine's Day. So I guess we shall see. And the last January start is, which is actually also already started by the time that you are watching this, because it began on January 1st, and it's the Little Owl Patchwork sampler stitch along from Historical Sampler Company. They've kindly gifted me the kit, and it looks, from the pictures I've seen, it looks like an absolutely beautiful design. Those of you who are also stitching along, as I say, by the time this video goes out, you'll have seen the first part. So yeah, I'll be working on this one as well. Can't wait. So that's January. Don't worry, as I say, they're not all like this. February, if I've got time, I really want to fit this in. So this is a beautiful vintage sampler that I bought, again from Big Stitch, and it's already kitted up. It comes with the even weave, or it might be linen, and actually silks, which I've never stitched with before. I'm going to change the year to my birth year and my initials, and it's not many stitches at all, you're able to see, so it shouldn't be too much of a long stitch, and I'd really like to start that in the early part of this year as well. And that was it for February. In March, I've got two that I want to start from this book. Now, Charlie Feathers did a flip through of this book on her Flosstube channel, and on my one of my previous episodes where I'll have to find which one and put it in the show notes. But yes, I did like, not flip through, but I just showed you my favourites. Two of which are these ones, which is Stylish Girl and her sister, Girl with a Dove. And Sarah at Cross Stitch Sarah mentioned she wanted to stitch one of these with me. I think it might have been the second one, Girl with a Dove. So I need to message her and see if she still wants to do that. They're not huge. They seem quite manageable and they're not too many colours. So yeah, they could well be finishes this year. We shall see. Moving on. April, like a maniac, apparently I've given myself 3 new starts for April. As I say, this is my aspirations, not necessarily what I'm going to be sticking with. The first one is this gorgeous design from Barbara Anna called 22 Balloons. You guys know I'm a big Barbara Anna fan. It was originally only available through her Russian vendor, so we weren't able to get it, but and towards the end, second half of 2024, she released it in her coffee shop, so you can now get hold of this one. Again, it's a big one, so no expectations to finish it this year, but I would definitely like to start it. I still need to get the threads for that one, but I have got the fabric, and I want to use this gorgeous Zweiger as a 32 count blue. It's lovely. I've been eyeing up this fabric for donkeys, and I've been waiting to get good enough to be able to use 32 count so I could get some, and I can now stitch on 32 count. It's a little bit lighter, sorry, it's a little bit darker than the called for, so I think I'm going to have to change these guys because otherwise they're going to blend in. So I'll just change those to a different, like, shade, either tone of blue or a lighter or darker shade. So yeah, that's one of my April new starts. I also want to start this one in April, which is Love Poppets Seahorses. This was part of, this is one of her Patreon patterns last year. And again, I saw Charlie Feathers stitching it when she was at Stitch in London, and it looks so good stitched up. It has got a lot of colours, and you kind of need the called for colours on this one because they're all very, very close shades to each other. But to get this like differentiation, you do kind of, it's not really one that you could easily stitch from stash as I tend to usually do. I've got all the colours. They were part of my Christmas present order. I don't have the fabric yet. I've got to make a decision on what I'm doing on the fabric for this one. But yes, again, planning on starting this in April or at least in the spring. I also need to finish the Patreon before that, which was the octopus. So that's in my whip pile for this year. And also spring Quaker. So I'm working on winter Quaker now. I finished the autumn Quaker a couple of Flosstubes ago. So now we're on to the spring Quaker. I've already got the floss. I didn't bring it out here with me, but I've already got the floss for this one as well. I just picked a different, it's not the called for, I just picked a different one. The called for though is Classic Colourworks Blooming Crocus, if anyone's interested. So again, I know these are manageable. I've done them, I've done several of them before, and I would like to get that done this coming spring. And again, if anyone else is working on it at the same time, let me know and we'll do a stitch along. So I know that's quite a popular one. That is it for April. May, I'd like to start this one. Erin Elizabeth Stitchy Tier. How fun is that? And then when you look at it, it actually looks massive, but when you look at the pattern, it's not as big as you think. I'm going to stitch it from stash, I think, because there's no particular colours that I think you have to have. It's just so gorgeous. I love anything that's actually related to stitching. It's just lovely. I've also got her bead here, but that's not on my list for this year because I've got too much. But she does so many. She's got so many, and they're all gorgeous. And again, I bought this from Big Stitch, and I've already got the fabric, which is this taupe 28 count. So yeah, another fun one. Also in May, I'd like to start this other Primrose Cottage one, Honeybees and Stitching Please. And words tend to be fairly-ish quick to stitch as well. I've already got the fabric, I've already got the floss colours because I'm going to use the same as I used for the bee Quaker. So we're good to go on that one as well. And again, let me know if you're working on it. I mean, I know Primrose are so popular, there's bound to be someone working on it. In June, my big new start for June is going to be Kogurty Birds by Yasmin, made with love. Again, I've had this in my stash for quite a long time. I don't have the fabric, but I do have, I picked out some fancy floss for the sort of bigger, more important parts of it, and then I'll just make the rest up with DMC. And the deal I'm making with myself is I'm not allowed to start this until I've finished her other bird pattern that is one of my whips, Flip and Lola. So I'm putting this out here right now. You're allowed to tell me off if you see that I've started this before I've finished Flip and Lola. Oh dear. And also there's this other honey one, like this other bee one from Primrose, the Honeybee quilt. And if I've got time, I wouldn't mind getting a few stitches in this one as well in the summer. July, I want to start, I'm hoping that by then I'll have finished the spring Quaker, so I want to start the summer Quaker. And again, I've already picked my own like really beautiful floss for this. And I've already got the fabric. So I want to start that as well in July. If I've got time, I'm going to start this other Love Puppet pattern that I've got, which is so gorgeous. Floral Butterfly. Isn't that stunning? I had to have it as soon as I saw it, even though I was on her Patreon at the time and I already had loads of others, but as soon as she released this one, I had to buy it. And again, quite a lot of floss. But this one, I think you could stitch from stash. I will probably pick my own colours for this one. And I've already got fabric, which I think might quite go, which is like a very pale green. I don't have it with me, but I think that would go quite nicely. So yeah, again, I want to start that in July. There'll probably also be a little bit of Christmas in July. So those of you who watched my Flossmas will have seen that I've now got a lot of Christmas patterns to work on. So I might start some of those as a Christmas in July. August, my birthday month, I want to start this beauty, which is Peacock Pincushion by Cottage Garden Samplings. Absolutely gorgeous, and I've already got the fabric, which is again a Megan's Copycraft fabric, and I've also got the floss that I got as part of my Christmas present bundle, so we're good to go on that one. I might end up starting this earlier, you know, because I feel like I've been waiting ages to start this one, so that might end up being started quite soon. And then September, I've got this kit, which is a historical sampler company kit that I got a long time ago from when I had some vouchers for John Lewis. So they do sell historical sampler in John Lewis, or they did when I bought this. And it's the Scandi Heart sampler. And it comes with all the floss and the Ada. Don't know if I'm going to use the Ada. I might, because I want to have a few Ada projects for this year, because it's just quicker and easier. But yeah, I think that's a real beauty, and I just wanted to slip it in there sort of towards the autumn. The rest I don't have, but I know, as I say, as we get towards the end of the year, I've got a lot of Christmas projects that I haven't finished that I want to pick back up, and I've got some Christmas patterns that I got in my advent calendars that I want to start. And there's two other Primrose ones that I definitely want to start. The Primrose Cottage Halloween Quaker from 2024. So gorgeous. definitely want to work on that one when I've got the pattern. And the Primrose Cottage Cocoa Quaker, which was their Christmas one from 2024. I really want to work on that as well, so I can have a whole collection of Primrose Quakers. And as I say, others might pop up throughout the year. I don't know. But if they do, then I'm going to... yeah, I'm going to try and restrict myself. I'm going to try and just choose patterns that I really, really love. I mean, to be honest, all the patterns I've bought I really, really love, so that doesn't really help. But I am going to do my best to restrict myself. Last year was the year of charts. I mean, this year's going to be the year of threads, which I'll talk about in a second. But anyway, so yeah, no promises that I won't start anything else. But as you said, as I said, between these and the big whip parade that I'm going to show you in a future video, I've got plenty to be getting on with. And I love them all. So yeah, we'll see. And as I say, if anyone's working on any of those, let me know. We can do a stitch along. If there's any that you really love, then leave me a comment. That would be amazing. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, so I have signed up to 2 thread floss clubs for this year. I've signed up to the Cottage Garden Threads with Talking Dog Stitchery. I'm not sure if they've still got spaces. You'd have to check it out. I saw a lot of my friends were getting the Cottage Garden Threads for their Advent. They had the Advent calendar and they are so gorgeous. And I was like, oh, I need them. And then Shell mentioned that Talking Dog were doing a floss club for this year. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm onto it. So I signed up to that. And I've also signed up to the Weeks Dye Works Floss Club through Corey's Little Shop. And she's doing it in a really cool way. I think it's 10 flosses a month. And they're doing it alphabetically. So you're getting the first 10 alphabetically from Weeks Dye Works whole range, and then the second 10, third 10, and so forth. So eventually, if you stay on it for, I think it worked out, if you stayed in the club for 32 months, don't know if I would, you would have the full collection of Weeks Dye Works, which, oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine the dream of just being like, oh, Weeks Dye Works, I'll just hop over to my collection of threads and just get the one I want. That would just be amazing. So thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that was a bit of a whistle stop tour. It was a bit of a quick one. I'm not have a great deal of time this morning, and I had a lot to get through, and I didn't want my phone to fill up again. But I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any that you want to stitch along with me, please let me know, or just let me know in the comments what ones you love and what ones you're tempted by, because you know me, I love to enable people. So lots of love until my next regularly scheduled Flosstube. Take care and happy stitching. Bye guys.